Hey guys, so this is the balayage video, and for all of these videos, first off, you're going to need an apron, you're going to need some gloves. This is a bleach solution and 6%. This is a demi-permanent 5/0 in Color Touch Wella, and then you will need some foils to isolate the blonde bits for the balayage, some clips for sectioning, and then a Pintail comb to section. So first off, what we're going to do is section off the hairline. So I'm going to take a section that's about an inch long, an inch deep from the hairline back to the bit of the head, and then I'm going to section off some bits at the front. So basically what I've done here is I've weaved out some bits on the hairline, and then I'm just going to add some bleach to these bits and smush them up into the root. I kind of want them to go close to the root as possible because I want it to look like it's sun-kissed at the front. So once I've kind of smushed all the product through, what I'm going to do is isolate it with a foil, and then I'm going to move on to the other side of the hairline. So I'm going to use my Pintail comb to weave out some chunky bits on the hairline. I'm going to clip this back, and then I'm going to get some of my bleach product and start at the tip and smush my way up into the root. So once I've smushed it up into the root, again, what I'm going to do is isolate this with a foil. So on the next section, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work in brick formation. So these two were on either side of the hairline. So the next one's going to be in the middle. And instead of working on the underneath of the section, I've taken a section, I've weaved out the top. So in the first two, I did it on the hairline, so it was underneath. This is now on top of the section. So you've got that dark bit behind the hairline. So I'm going to smoosh the product into the root as before. And once I've smooshed the product into the root, I'm going to isolate it with a foil. So once I've smudged all of the product through up into the root, what I do is I isolate this with a foil, and then I'm going to move on to the next sections. So there's only 5 foils in this balayage style. So we've got 2 at the front either side, 1 behind it in the middle, and then 2 behind that either side. So it's only 5 foils in total. Always have a towel handy to wipe the residue of the bleach off of your hands. And then once I've finished the 5 foils, what I'm going to do is move on and use the Color Touch 5/0 to make the back darker. So I'm going to start by just doing the roots at the back, and I'm just going to go through and paint the 5/0 onto all of the roots. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to smudge it through using my hands. Basically, because I don't want to bring the 5/0 all the way to the ends, I just want the root to appear darker. So I'm leaving the tips out, so when I have it cut, there's still going to be some darker bits. Next, I'm going to take the 5/0 and paint in between all of the foils, so giving that root a bit of depth and a bit of darkness. And then once I've done all of that, I'm going to allow it to develop for a little bit. What I tend to do as well is with these bits at the front, I'll back comb the bits that are left out. I'll back comb, and then I tend to scrunch some bleach into them as well. So you generally get like some chunky bits of blonde, and then the tips get a little bit blonder as they fade out. So I'm just going to take some bleach now, and all I'm going to do is scrunch that into the tips of the balayage bit. So the front stays a bit lighter, and then the back's going to be massively darker. This is going to give you that kind of sun-kissed at the front look and that darker bit at the back, as you can see. But as you can see, I left the ends out because I want them to stay a little bit more on the lighter scale. So I'm going to develop this for about 20 minutes, and no toner was needed in this look. So once I've taken everything off, I just give it a really good shampoo, and this is what it looks like afterwards. You can see it kind of gives that sun-kissed look at the front while maintaining a bit of darkness through the back of the system. This is what the system looks like on, and it looks amazing. You can see the big chunks of blonde at the front, and then as it goes through the back, it gets a bit darker. I absolutely love this system. It makes it look amazing. This was the Neo in 7 Ash.